Good afternoon, my YouTube viewers. It's Crystal here. I wanted to make the second video for you on the sales data set. The last video I made, I was carrying out an analysis of the data set, and on this particular video, what I'm doing is I've made a dashboard, and this is the dashboard that I've made. So I'll go over the dashboard and then I'll go over how I made it. So basically, you can do lots of things with dashboards. So you can put sliders in the dashboard, which I haven't used a slider on this occasion, and you can put a scroll bar on the dashboard. And on this occasion, I did actually put a scroll bar, which we will go into that. The first thing on the sales dashboard is I got the total sales, the total profit, and the profit margin. So the total sales was 1924337.9, and the total profit was 224,077.61, and then it gave you a profit margin of negative 3973.0522. So it looks, according to the formulas that I calculated, that the profit margin isn't very good. So the next thing we did is we talked about the sales trend, which is right here. And on the sales trend, you can see that the sales are going up. From January to June, the sales have increased because we've got a linear trend line, and the linear trend line is increasing. The next thing you have is you have a chart that has the total sales by day of week, and you can see Saturday, the highest number of sales are on the Saturday, and then the second highest number of sales are on the Friday. And then it looks like maybe Wednesday and Sunday are the least amount of sales. So you're going to have the most sales on a Saturday. And then we're going to look at the pie chart of sales by product. So you can see that the technology sales are more than the furniture sales and the office supply sales. And we also have sales by region. And so you can see that the East has higher sales than the other regions, with the South having the least amount of sales. And then what we're going to have is we have the number of items sold. So what we have is we have a column chart with the highest number of items sold at the top, decreasing down to the lowest number of items sold. So you can see that the Fellows PB500 electric punch plastic is the highest selling item, and I think it's on about $69,000. And what you can do is we've got a scroll bar, so you can take the scroll bar, and when you take the scroll bar, you can scroll it down, and you can see how the different items have different values of sales, which is what they want to see. So it's just a scroll bar that tells you how to do it. And so the lowest item of sales is the Bedford CR500 series slimline. And then you can take the scroll bar all the way back up, if you want to the Fellows PB500 electric punch plastic. So we did actually put a scroll bar in this dashboard, but we didn't put any slicers in the dashboard, not on this occasion. So, that was a mistake. That was just, so that was a mistake. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at how we actually made this dashboard. And what I did was I made all of the charts and things and then copied and pasted the charts into the dashboard. I was watching a video on how to do it. In this particular video that I watched on how to do it, what they did was they did all the charts and things on one page and then copied the charts from that one page over to the dashboard. But I didn't do that. I put the charts separately. So you can either, if you want to do it all on one page, you can, or if you want to do it like I did separately, you can do it that way. And they also made the dashboard as using PowerPoint, which I didn't do that. I didn't want to make a dashboard with PowerPoint. But you can always take the dashboard and put it on PowerPoint and then copy and paste the PowerPoint onto the Excel if you want to. But I didn't do that. I'm still learning how to make dashboards, and so this is just what I did. So we've got the raw data orders, and then we did the analysis in the last video. But now we've taken the orders and we converted the orders to a table. So you convert the orders to a table by, you can use Control T, which will convert it to a table, or you can also in the home menu format as table and do it that way. But what I did was I created an extra column of data calling it profit margin, and I used the formula from Investopedia, whereas the profit is divided into the sales, and I multiplied that by 100 and it gives you the profit margin. So that's a column that I added to the table. So now we're going to do sales by product name, and that's what we had in our dashboard. And we used this. What we did was we created a pivot table. We created a pivot table, and then over here in this one we used the offset. So offset was A4, and then we take it onto $F, $3, and 0. And we did that with, I think, maybe 12 or 13 lines of rows of data. And then we added a scroll bar to it. And you have to add the scroll bar by going to Developer and Excel add-ins. And we don't, not that one, but Insert. And then it would be scroll bar right here, scroll bar. And you can also insert tick boxes if you want to, but I didn't insert any tick boxes. I mean, obviously I have a long way to go to learn how to make all of these different dashboards. And then so I created a pivot chart, and the pivot chart, and then I took the scroll bar and I copied it down to the pivot chart, and the pivot chart allows you to check the different items sold that you want to, and you can also move it all the way up. So we get back to the Fellows PB 500 electric, and it's 69,000. And I copied and pasted the chart and the scroll bar to the dashboard. That's what I did. So now what we do is we go sales by region, and I made another pivot table. And so with the sales by region, I made two charts after I made the pivot table. One was a bar chart and one was a pie chart, and I decided to use the pie chart in this instance, and I copied and pasted the pie chart into the dashboard. I used shipping mode, and then we talked about cost of shipping based upon shipping mode, and we made a pivot table on that. So you had the delivery truck, express air, and regular air, and then so if you wanted to expand it, you could expand it, but I didn't want to expand it, but you can expand it if you want. And then I didn't include cost of shipping in the dashboard. And you can see here that the pie chart, it hasn't corrected itself. So that's not very good if the pie chart hasn't corrected itself. So let's come over here to dashboard. Oh, good. It didn't do it. Okay. But the shipping mode hasn't corrected itself. So that's not very good, is it? Okay, so it's corrected itself this time. But I didn't put shipping mode in the dashboard. Now we got the sales by product. So we did actually put that in the dashboard, and you can see we have the product is 3 different types of products, being furniture, office supplies, and technology. And so we had a bar chart, and then we had a pie chart, and I put the pie chart in the dashboard. So now we have the sales profit margin. So again, this is, you've got the sum of sales, sum of profit margin. And then I copied and pasted that into the dashboard. So now we talk about profit margin by month. We made a pivot chart, and then when we made the pivot chart, we included the sum of profit and the sum of profit margin. And so you can see that the profit margin isn't very good. The only time that the profit margin was above 0 was in April, and the rest of the times the profit margin was below 0. And I've actually have used the formula from Investopedia to actually make the profit margin, so I hope it's correct. Then we have total sales per day of the week. So again, we've got we made a pivot table, and we had the row labels. We converted the date to the day of the week, because if you go back to orders table, order day of the week, I converted the date to the day of the week. That would enable me to create a pivot table that had the day of the week with the orders. And again, so we had a bar chart and a column chart, and you can see that Saturday was the day of the week where it had the most orders. And I did copy that into the dashboard. So we've also got total sales per month. And so again, you need to make a pivot table, and that's going to be the month of the sales and the total sales per month. And then you also use and attach a trend line with a linear trend line using the plus, and then using the trend line, you can see you can insert a trend line. And so you can see that the sales are increasing, even though the profit margin isn't very good. And then so we've got other pivot tables and graphs that I have made but that was for the analysis. That wasn't for the dashboard. And so I did actually make a lot of pivot tables and pivot graphs, but I only put a few of them on the dashboard because I put enough to where it would fit on the screen. And this is the screen of my little laptop. And I'm sure the only thing that I did that was really fancy was the scroll bar and the number of items sold. Everything else didn't have a slicer or anything like that on it, but you can make a dashboard as complicated or as easy as you would like it to do. And I did actually have to learn how to put a scroll bar onto the dashboard. So I think that concludes this video because we talked about the dashboard. We've talked about the fact that I've copied and pasted the pivot charts onto the pivot tables and pivot charts onto the dashboard. I showed you the pivot. I showed you the work that I did so you can see how I did it. So that's it. I've covered what I intended to cover. So if you like my video, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I look forward to making more videos on Excel and other technical subjects for you in the future.